We're back with perfect players, and today we've given one perfect player, strikers, to every single team in Sweden, with a hope that they can help build the nation and go on to win a Champions League. Every single player is a striker, so therefore it won't be too dominant in terms of international football as well. So that'll be quite interesting as a little side quest, but the main focus is to try and get a Swedish team to win the Champions League. Let's get into it. Here's a short list then, and I've very creatively named them the team and centre forward. That's it. Everyone's mid-journeyed out of the mind. We'll see these faces throughout this experiment. I won't bore you with them now. They're all joining Saudi Arabia in 30 years' time, so they've got 30 years under their belt. Their attributes are frozen, so they'll stick at max ability until that time. And yeah, that's all there is to really say. If we look at the Swedish Premier Division, because every team has got a perfect player, of course, the Media Dream 11 has got 2 forwards in, and all the teams that are in the league are much for muchness. They're going to be exactly the same. Now, Varberg's Boys and Degerfors IF are, well, considered to be the worst 2 teams in the league, and they're probably going to get relegated. However, they're almost certainly going to come straight back up, aren't they? Really? Almost certainly, because of these perfect strikers. So, you know, it is what it is. Which strikers will the Swedish team play? Will they mix it up, or will they just choose their favourites and stick with them? Will some of these teams retrain these players as wingers? I wouldn't be surprised if the Swedish national team tried to force some of these players in as wingers, because it would make perfect sense, right? But that's something that we'll see down the line. So, as you can see here, the Swedish Premier Division is 24th ranked in the world in terms of competition reputation. And the Nation Club coefficients, Sweden is in 22nd, and the continental place is 22nd as well. So we will keep an eye on this as we move through the experiment. Here's all the teams. Will we see Conference Leagues? Will we see Europa Leagues? And will we see Champions Leagues? The hope is yes to all 3, but I've got no idea. We might even see a Euros and a World Cup with Sweden as well, so we'll be checking on that as we go. So without further ado, let's go forward to 2024, just see what happened in the first season. So in terms of the Swedish Premier Division, Malmö won the league by a considerable distance, only scoring 64 goals. So the goals, it wasn't that. I mean, to be fair, the team that went down, the 2 teams that did go down were the 2 teams expected to go down by the media predictions. They did score over 40 goals was the lowest scored. 51 was for Varbergs, who went down. They did concede 72 though, so defensively the teams were a little bit, you know, underwhelming. We've got 2 Conference League qualification places in Malmö. What do they qualify for? Look at the rules. It doesn't say. Oh, whatever. Someone in the comments let me know. It'll start to become clear. Yeah, we don't know, do we? Don't know, indeed. Who won the league? Who won the league season previous? But BK Häcken. Let's have a look what they did. Let's have a look. Last season. So they were Champions League Champions Path first qualifying round. So they lost, and then they went into the Europa League path, and then they went into the Conference League path, and they went to the Conference League. Right, okay. There's a lot of opportunities to get into some sort of European competition. Right, so Malmö won the league last season. And let's have a look here. So the all-time career goals. So Kalmar had the best striker with 36 goals. He obviously got the golden boot, and he's got 2 caps for Sweden himself. No goals, though, unfortunately for him. Djurgården centre forward with 34 goals has got 6 caps for Sweden and also scored 6 goals. That's very interesting to see. Obviously, the date as well is the 27th of February 2024. So, because the seasons don't quite sort of finish. So, realistically, European competitions are still going on. We have not got a Champions League winner for the first season. That's going to throw things up a little bit weird as the experiment progresses, but we'll navigate that as we come to it. In terms of caps, though, a lot of them have been capped. Even down to BK Häcken. Oh, have I not? I've already simmed all this. If he's the only one, then sucks to be you, BK Häcken. It looks like he's the only one. Yeah, we're just navigating through all of them and every single team. Yeah, I've frozen the attributes for everyone except BK Häcken. So it wouldn't be a Jayhuahua experiment without one fuck up. And there you go. Less than 5 minutes in, I reckon, at the time of the edit. I don't know, because I'm recording and there's been portions where I've been sort of like looking at a couple of bits without speaking. So, yeah, I mean, already a balls up. I could go away, I could put it right, and I could resim it, but that'd take away some of the charm. BK Häcken looks to be you. I mean, to be fair, he is still going to be a 200 out of 200 player. So, what are you going to do? And he's been capped. He's been capped. It's mentally, he's been capped. I mean, the funny thing is as well is I didn't mess around with the height with these players. I just let the height be random. And as you can see, we've got someone here at 5'8", we've got someone here at 6'4". Now, traditionally, well, I say height is a good factor. Height is good for, better. The taller players are usually better, but it's a lot of jumping reach, isn't it? So, we've established, haven't we, in the previous experiments that height doesn't really matter. It only matters when players are improving because it helps their jumping reach new heights, pun intended. Okay, so there we go then. Not a lot happened in terms of the first season. Nothing's really happened in sort of Europe. And not a lot's going to happen in the first few years. So we're not going to really... There's no point in us sticking around unnecessarily. We'll look at the season preview. As you can see, Gaze and Helsingborgs have come up. They're going to go straight back down, almost certainly. And of course, the two teams that came down are going to go straight back up with their forwards in the Media Dream 11. Let's jump forward. I don't know. What should we do? Should we do 3 years? Let's go to 2027. There's no point doing every single season because it's going to be much of a muchness, isn't it? We'll go 4 years. So it'll be 5 years in and we'll jump in there. We'll jump back every 5 years. How about that? So 2028. Let's go. Okay. Well, look at this. So straight away, I'm looking at Halmstad's BK. 184 appearances, 187 goals in all competitions. 144 appearances, 136 in the league, 2 in 5 for Sweden. And look at this. I mean, the Continental League scoring loads of goals, which is actually really good. I'm excited. I am excited. There has been no trophy for Halmstad's, though. Who's been winning the Premier Division, then? Well, Halmstad's have won one. So have Malmo, Gothenburg, and Norrköping. So it's been shared around fantastically well. In terms of the award winners, let's look at the top goal scorers. So the top goal scorers, of course, are always going to be our forwards because I don't think anyone's going to buy a forward and play them, are they, really, in the Swedish league? We've got Halmstad's BK has won it 3 times and IFK Varnamo has won it twice, which is interesting. 32 being the best return in 30 games. And he's never been capped for Sweden. At 22 years young, he has never been capped for Sweden, yet despite the fact he has been dominant. Well, not dominant, but finishing top goal scorer twice. But everyone's scoring a lot of goals. AIK centre forward, for example, 177 a goal a game. BK Hacken, only 128, of course, because we forgot to freeze his attributes. Why is he 21? Have I made another balls up? 27th of the second. Oh, all their date of births are different as well. Yeah, they're just a specific age. So yeah, they're all about the same age. And he's about to turn tomorrow. His birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday, Malmo centre forward. In terms of caps, then, let's have a look at who has been capped the most. So Djurgården centre forward has been capped 31 times, scoring 21 goals. Disappointing. Hammarby, 28 caps, 27 goals. That's more like it. Elfsborg, 15 caps, 15 goals. 5 in 10 for Brommapojkarna. Kalmar has got 4 in 14. So Spalletti is in charge here. The Swedish national team is 9th. As you can see, they've had a bit of a surge up from in the mid-20s. The Swedish Premier Division is up in 13th as well. So we'll have a quick look in a moment at the European trophies. But as you can see here, only 2 of the players are in the squad, 2 of the centre forwards, because they're not taking that many forwards through with them. Really, you'd be looking to play 2 up front, wouldn't you? In my opinion. That's what I'd certainly do anyway. But let's go have a look at the Conference League. So, as you can see here, the 4 winners up to this point, because of course we've not ticked over for the 5th year, is Aston Villa, Newcastle, Atletico Bilbao and Brighton. So 3 English teams have won Conference League. In terms of the Europa League, I mean, if we're not winning the Conference League, we're not going to win the Europa League. It's Liverpool, Porto, Sporting CP and Milan Red, which I've been reliably informed it means screwdriver, apparently. I say reliably informed. Someone said it in the comments and I've just taken that as gospel. So if that's wrong, I look like an idiot for the 2nd time in this video. Let's go and make it a hat trick, shall we? And the winners of the Champions League has been Man City, Bayern, Man City and Liverpool. Understandably, Pep Guardiola is still there, but we're not bothered about him as a manager. We're bothered about Ralph Hasenhüttl, who's not there. Why is Ralph not there? Oh, who's going to be the manager of Austria? Eh? I don't know. Well, not a lot's happened up to this point. We've increased to 13th in terms of the competition reputation. In terms of the nation club coefficients, Sweden is now up in 11th, and the continental qualification places, Sweden is up in 6th. Okay, let's have a look at the league table. Look at the previous season's league table. So there you go. We've got Halmstad, who've probably got Champions League football, because so have Kalmar. Europa League football for AIK and Conference League football for Malmo. So more competition places are being divvied up. There is a way of seeing it. There is a way of seeing it. Qualification places. There it is. Why did I not just click on this before? Why didn't I click on this in season 1? There's the hat trick. Idiot for the 3rd time in less than quarter of an hour. So we've got qualifying for the league path. We've got qualifying for like going into qualification, so you can get there, but you might not. You go into a playoff for the Europa League, straight into the Europa League and Europa Conference League. I don't know. Maybe the cup winners win something. Not sure. But everything's on the move. Everything's on the rise. Will that continue? 5 more years then to 20. Oh, no, we haven't checked in on how Sweden have done. Have we? How did they do in their international tournaments? We got to the quarter-final and lost to France in Euro 2024. And in the World Cup, got 3rd place. Lost to Ukraine in the semi-final. So Ukraine got to the final. Ukraine bloody won it. Beating Brazil 4-1 in the final. Can't click on it. Come too far. We've come too far. I mean, this team have won the World Cup. Mudryk is a World Cup winner. That's sinking. I did not expect that, the first season, to be Ukraine to win it. So we've given the perfect player to a nation. We've chosen Sweden, a team that you don't expect to go and win the World Cup. But if you give them they've got some decent players. If you give them some solid strikers and, we have perfect strikers, you think, do you know what? A few of those other players, given the right fixtures, given the right situation, you could get there. They've got to beat England on the way. The Netherlands, they lost to Ukraine, who then went and battered Brazil. Arguably the best chance they had to win the World Cup. Probably won't get a better chance. In 2028, there's going to be another Euros coming. Qualified as group winners. Portugal didn't. Went out on goal difference. No, don't know what happened. Head to head? Yeah, they lost to Iceland twice. Iceland then lost to Slovakia twice, who got 12 points. Andorra, sadly, just at the bottom. 2033 then, let's go. The all-time career goals, well, as you can see here, you've got 358 in 368 for Kalmar CF. Now, these guys are almost certainly, are they all born leaders? Oh, loyalty down at 1, so they can't be, I don't know why I've got loyalty at 1. Maybe it's because I've just imported it where this is what I had for a perfect player previously, where we could move around, so they can't be model citizens with 1 loyalty, but meh, by the by. So as you can see, these are the teams that are probably getting into Europe, because the teams down here, like 298 games for Bomber Podgorna, very few games in Europe in the cup competitions, whereas the other players have, of course, been progressing in those competitions. So the Swedish Premier Division is up in 9th in terms of competition reputation. AIK with 2, Malmo, Gothenburg, and Djurgården. So again, spreading it around quite nicely. The top goal scorer, though, has been again spread around quite nicely. But I say again spread around quite nicely. Last time it wasn't. It was 2 players that dominated the previous 5 years. This time we've got Malmo, Kalmar, Mjällby, Halmstads, and Djurgården. So that's Halmstads with his 4th Golden Boot, the most prolific player in all of Sweden. 5 caps, 5 goals, 9 caps. Nice one. Speaking of caps, Djurgården centre forward has got 83 caps and scored 60 goals. Not a bad return. Hammarby IF, 71 in 81. Elfsborg, 30 in 33 on the periphery. Kalmar, 4 in 14. I think it was the same as last time, wasn't it? He's not played in 5 years. 6 in 12 for Bomber Podgorna. BK Hacken, 3 caps. He's had another cap. I feel bad for them. I do feel bad for this error that I've made, because he's going to be, well, shit, isn't he? As he declines, he's going to decline in his 30s. So BK Hacken are probably going to be, well, struggling. They are going to be struggling. BK Hacken did get relegated a couple of seasons ago as well. So, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So as mentioned, the league is up in 9th. Sweden are ranked 1st. They are ranked 1st in terms of the world ranking. Now, 4 of the players are in the senior squad. They've got a manager who only goes and plays 2 up top. He's thinking about it. You've got your best players who are strikers. Let's get them on the pitch. Very impressive. Right. And they're ranked 1st. So that bodes well. Let's just check in on that now then, shall we? The 2028. Once again, I think it was France. Was it France in 2024 that we lost to? It was. 2024 we lost to France. 2026 in the World Cup 3rd place playoff, we lost to France. 2028, we lost to France. This is like a script, isn't it? You just can't beat France. I'm telling you now, if we win a World Cup, we'll beat France in the final. Written in the stars, isn't it? No, we lost to Croatia in the World Cup final, having beaten Portugal 5-3, beating Netherlands 3-1, 8-0 against Panama, losing to Croatia 1-0 in the final. Devastating. In 2032 Euros, we beat France in the semi-final, breaking that curse. Then we lost to Spain in the final, so we've come runner-up in 2 consecutive international tournaments. Deary me. Deary me. Right, let's have a look at the Conference League then. So no team from Sweden has won it, unfortunately. Much of the muchness in the Europa League as well. No one's won it there. And of course, no one's won a Champions League. It looks like it's the same sort of system in terms of who's going into what tournament. We've got Champions League, Europa League and Conference League, same as before. We will look in on that though. Coefficients, Sweden are in 7th. And the extra European place, Sweden are up in 4th. They're just behind Spain. Well, quite a bit way behind Spain and Italy, actually, who are very neck and neck. And England are out in front. There's a qualification places, though. Sweden are up in 7th here. We've actually got two. Yeah, still the same. It's still exactly the same. Looks like 5 places are available for Europe, but not sure why we're only seeing 4 in the actual league structure. But it is what it is. Sweden, though, having come runner-up in the World Cup and the Euros, have managed to navigate themselves to first in the world ranking, which surprises me somewhat. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see going forward if that will change. Will they stay first or will they fall but actually win a trophy? You know, you never know, do you? You never know. So, 2038, here we come. 32 years old, and oh my God, BK Häcken down at 199. The decline starting. He's going to be rubbish next time we come back. So all-time career goals, we've got 527 for Varnamo, AIK at 511, Malmo at 504, all 3 of them breaking the 500 goal barrier. And combined, they have 39 caps for Sweden. Djurgården and Hammarby, so as I said, will they play all the players and mix it up? Or, I mean, 2 of these, Sirius and De Geerfers, have never been capped. Never been capped. They're brilliant. Unfortunate, isn't it? Djurgården and Hammarby are the 2 getting all the caps. 100 and 131 for him, and 131 in 131 for Hammarby. Goal a game. The Swedish Premier Division is in 8th, and it has been for a few seasons. Again, it's been Again, it has been spread around in terms of winners. AIK have won 2 in the last 5 years. The other winners, Djurgårdens, Elfsborg and Värnamo. Top goal scorer has been, again, Värnamo with a couple. Elfsborg, Brommapojkarna and Mjällby. So, Värnamo's done pretty well. Värnamo's done pretty well indeed. Look back. Okay, we've got another Champions League place under our belt. We'll check in on that then now. Club coefficients up in 4th. Continental coefficients up in 4th. Qualification, we are 4th. 4 teams going into the Champions League phase, apparently. But that doesn't seem to be right. Not based on that. Only 3. I don't know. And we've only gone and done it. We've got 2 wins. Hammarby in 2032-33 and Värnamo in 36-37. So we have 2 Conference League wins for Sweden. In terms of Europa League, unfortunately, nothing. Lazio runner-up in the Europa League 2 seasons in a row. That's devastating for them. And, yeah, no Champions League, of course, either. So that is, you know, it is what it is. AC Milan winning most recently. City won a couple. Yeah. Okay. Sweden are still ranked first in the world. They dropped to 2nd briefly, but they've been first for quite a while, it seems. And we were last here, of course, in the Euros, where we lost to Spain in the final. Following season, we managed to lost in the final to Spain again in the International League, beating France on penalty. So that curse against France seems to be broken. However, we've now replaced that with a curse against Spain. We've qualified for the World Cup, though, only dropping points against Ireland. And we went and won the World Cup. A 6-4 win against Argentina in the final. Goals for IF Elfsborg, Hammarby, and AIK centre forward. All 3. AIK centre forward also scored an own goal. He only got 10 in 18. He's been played as a centre back. Makeshift. Some big wins here. Lots of goals. 8-0 against Australia in the quarter final. Very impressive. A 6-4 win in the final as well. Mental. So we've won the World Cup in 2034. 2036. We qualify for the Euros with a perfect record. Losing in the International League final once again, this time to Italy. And we went and won the Euros. That curse against France has well and truly been broken. A 6-1 win. Hammarby centre forward with 5 goals. I mean, he scored 131 and 131. This guy is the boy, and he's been doing the business internationally. Beating Portugal in the final 1-0. Beating England in the semis. So we've now won both the Euros and the World Cup with Sweden, which was only the side quest, the Champions League being the main goal. Nowhere to be seen up to this point. We've qualified once again for the World Cup, and that's going to be coming this year. Let's go to 2043. Yeah, we're getting on. So in terms of the all-time caps, again, same thing. Jayhuahua and Hammerbeat still rocking and rolling. Where's Baker Hacken? Down at 170. This guy, 192 and 184. He has been phenomenal. And a lot of them have been retrained as cams. 153 and 158 for him as well. The Jayhuahua. More caps here. Elfsborg, 63 and 66. He's done pretty well. AIK, 34 and 40. Still no caps for De Gerfers and Sirius. Unfortunate. So the Swedish Premier Division, still in 8th, stagnant. Awards spread around. The league win has been spread around, as has the top goal scorer. No one has won it twice in the last 5 years. Oh, no, they have, sorry. Mjällby. Mjällby's won it twice. There he is. 35 in the 38 season. Bloody hell. 35 in 29. What a season that was. Qualification places then. Sweden down in 7th. And yeah, it's spread around again. So we lost places. Down in 5th for the nation, the coefficients. And 7th for the nation club coefficients. So doesn't bode well, does it, for the Conference League, Europa League and Champions League wins. Elfsborg came run up to Almeria most recently. No Europa League win. And of course, no Champions League win. That's very disappointing. Sweden still first. They've got Tobias Linderoth now in charge. They've been first for a hell of a long time. And the World Cup in 2038. Wow. Talk about getting battered in the final. 5-1 to Spain. So that Spanish curse is still alive and well. Got ourselves, defensively we weren't great. We just outscored our opponents pretty much through the entire World Cup. We only got two clean sheets, Paraguay and Costa Rica in the first 2 games. And then we were conceding plenty. Beating France once again. Then, oh, look at that. Beating Belarus 10-0 in the Euros qualification. And after extra time, we beat Spain in the Euros final, making it a 2nd Euros in a row. Beating Portugal 5-3 as well. Defensively not great, but going forward, we are phenomenal. And we've qualified for the World Cup once again, of course. Losing 4-3 to England in the semi-final, beating Italy in the 3rd place playoff. So that's 1 World Cup and 2 Euros up to this point. An 11-1 win against Suriname. Very impressive. IF Elfsborg with a double hat-trick. 6 goals. Unbelievable stuff. Well, the players will continue to play internationally. I think they're going to start to retire, but players that haven't been playing up to this point will probably start coming through and getting caps because they won't have retired from international football because they won't have had that international career. Let's go to 2048. I feel like with the 10 years left, I feel like let's just jump the last 10 years to 2053, just before all the players leave. We have simmed on a little bit as well, so we'll, of course, do that little jump at the very end. So let's go to 2053 now. Look at this, over 1,000 goals for AIK centre forward. How many of them got over? 4 of them over 1,000 goals. Loads of them over 1,000 appearances. Over 200 caps, or 199 caps for Hammerby. 210 goals. What a player. What if anyone's won the Ballon d'Or? We'll check in on that. Swedish Premier Division is up in 6th. Let's just get straight to it. Conference Leagues. The Gerfers have won. Bromopojkana have also won. 2 more Conference Leagues. Mjällby have won a Europa League. Bonamo have won a Europa League. Starting to happen. I feel it's a little too late though. No Champions Leagues, which is very sad. Very sad indeed. Sweden equal first now with England. Okay. 3rd place in the World Cup. 2044, we won the Euros, beating England in the final 3-2. 2046, we won the World Cup, beating Brazil. 2048, lost in the Euros to Norway. It was Norway, I thought that was going to happen. There's your pun. 2050, out in the quarters of the World Cup to Italy. There's De Gerfers, 22 and 21 for him. And lost in the Euros to Germany in the quarters as well in 2052. Disappointing. So in terms of domestically, it's not been great, has it? All the teams are going to get, all these players are going to go now, 100 million, so they're going to get a bit of money, but I don't know, I don't feel like there's going to be much happening in terms of domestically. Internationally, falling off a cliff. We're just going to see what happens at the end. I think about another few years. Okay, so the Swedish Premier Division is down in 7th. It's been up in 6th. Elfsborg have been a bit dominant in the last 10 years. We've come 11 years, 2064 we're in. 2064. We'll have a quick look at the qualification places. Sweden in 8th. Yeah, so this is where they've been teetering through the whole experiment. So we'll quickly look at the Conference League. AIK have won one in the last 10 years. So AIK have actually gone on and won something despite the fact they haven't got any perfect player. Europa League, Mjällby won another. Fair play. Bromopojkana, runner-up. Champions Leagues, no one. No Champions Leagues. God, so I thought we'd get some Champions Leagues. Maybe we need to do more players per team. Maybe we'll do it with a more minnowed nation. Maybe do it with San Marino. Let's do something with San Marino again. We all love a San Marino challenge on the channel. So I'll work out something to do with them. we'll try and build the nation in that capacity. So what we're going to do then, what we're going to do here, checking internationally, 21st in the world. They've fallen off a cliff. They've fallen off a cliff. 2 World Cups, which we've seen, and 3 Euros, which again we've seen. Final thing to check in on is the Ballon d'Or, and we'll call it there for the experiment, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this guy's been good, hasn't he? Becky Kerikoglu. He's won a fair few, hasn't he? But no, it's been Vinicius Jr., Phil Foden, Saka at PSG. No one has won the Ballon d'Or from Sweden and any of our players. Well, that is that, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? A couple of Europa Leagues, a few Conference Leagues, and more success internationally, to be fair, which I did not think would happen. I thought it'd be more success domestically. I thought they'd help build the nation. I thought they'd be able to attract better players because I thought they'd be getting further in Champions Leagues and thought the reputation would increase, but it is what it is. It's always fun to do these kind of things. So let me know a nation you want me to do this with and any tweaks you'd make to this to make it, I don't know, a little bit better in terms of their progression. Maybe 2 players per team or something. I don't know. A bit more balanced. Central midfielders maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.